Hey gang, my Zippo Gripes videos seem to be pretty popular. I've got a third one that I recorded some time back that I'm going to post, but this is going to be tacked onto the front of it, and I want it understood that there's nothing wrong with homeowners associations. They do a whole lot of good, and in this clip that you guys are going to see, I do kind of bash on the homeowners association a little bit, and it is not intended to upset anybody or anything along those lines. Everybody has pride in their homes. Mine just happens to be, it's my home, it's my property. You let me do what I want to do, or sue me, more or less. So just let that be understood. I'm not attacking the homeowners association or anybody who lives in a community that has bylaws in it and things like that. So just wanted that to be clear. So enjoy the video. I really appreciated all the suggestions, all the comments, and even the putting the toilet seat lid up or putting the toilet seat lid down comments. Or the coffee pot only having a few drops of coffee left in it. Lots of good comments coming through. I appreciate them all. This is Zippo. We'll see you guys on the next one. It's Monday! Finally Monday. Yeah, but what time am I going to post this? This is another installment of Zippo's Gripes, and this one's got a couple of good ones on it. I'm going to start off with, and we get this, especially on Facebook, we get this all the time. And it's not so much a gripe as it is just a little education, maybe. I don't know. You guys decide. You can take it with a grain of salt. Take it for what it's worth. This is just my years of experience, what I have discovered. What's it worth? Insert standard answer here. It is worth exactly whatever someone is willing to pay for it. When you ask a what's it worth on anything, anywhere, on any website, collector group or what have you, and you're going to notice that you get a lot of answers that show a little bit of frustration in them. And that's because we are asked so many times, and the answers are always the same. Depending on your location. If you're in Germany, a 65 Simplicity landlord is going to be worth a whole lot more than up in Michigan, near where they were all made. If you live on the East Coast, in an elite neighborhood, gated community, maybe I need to write gated communities down on here too, because there's no way in the world I would live in a $250,000, $300,000, $500,000 house and have somebody tell me what I can and cannot do with my property in my yard. That just doesn't work for me. May as well go rent a double wide in a trailer park in a slum part of the city, because it's the same thing. You've got rules there too. So to me, there's no difference. If I've got a $500,000 house, it's going to be on a piece of property where nobody tells me what I can or cannot do. That's for sure. But anyway, that was just a little bonus gripe. Kind of irrelevant to anything really, but I just always laugh. Oh no, you can't fly the flag here. Why? Well, because you can't. The homeowners association says you can't fly the flag here. Go fly it. Anyway, all right. But what's it worth? It depends on your location. It depends on the condition of the machine. It depends on implements that are included with the machine. It depends on any upgrades that you've done, current repair receipts, anything that's cobbled up, anything that's loose, anything that's missing. There are so many variables to determine what a machine is worth that it's just like going to buy a used car. You go buy a used car, and one car sitting right next to the other, identical in appearance, but one's got a rattly water pump. Doesn't leak yet, but it's got a rattly water pump, so you know you're going to have to replace that. Your timing is off, so the engine just shakes like nobody's business, and it has a tendency to try to overheat when you're driving it down the road, and it shifts hard, and it only has power steering to the right, and when you step on the brakes it makes a hard left. Well, that's a car that needs a lot of work, and that car is priced appropriately at $500 because they know you've got to put some work into it. And there's an identical car sitting right next to it. You get in that car is like a dream. It's like a brand new car. The tires even look brand new. The interior is pristine, just gorgeous. Ashtray's never been used. Doesn't even look like the stereo's ever heard any loud music played out of the speakers. Just, there's nothing at all wrong with this car. It's also going to be priced appropriately. Same year model as the $500 car, but this one's priced at $2,500 because it needs nothing. So that's a prime example. When you go to ask, what's it worth? And even if you post pictures, we've got to ask 5,000 questions to you to help you determine what your machine is worth. So I'm going to revert back to the standard answer. It is worth whatever anyone is willing to pay for it. Best way to find out a ballpark average of what things sell for, I've found, is go on eBay. Go to completed sold auctions. Not current auctions where people are asking $1,800 for something that's only worth $300. That doesn't get it either. Go look at sold completed auctions to get a good idea of what the value of something is. And note the location of the sale. If you're not in that vicinity and you're not in that area, you may need to make adjustments. You may need to bring the price up a little bit or down a little bit depending on the economic standing of your particular area. So when you ask what's it worth and you find that people get a little aggravated, a little irritated, a little agitated about it, that's because there are just so many variables to determine what your inquiry is worth. So do us all a favor, do some research on your own. Just asking a simple question puts everybody else to work, and it becomes frustrating for everybody. So do your own research, do your own looking around. Find out yourself what it's worth. We've got the internet, we've got Google. Type in, what's my 1965 Simplicity Landlord worth? You'll get a bunch of results. Give it a try. Okay, next gripe. And I hear this one constantly. Everything wears out over time. Doesn't matter what engine it is, Kohler, Tecumseh, Briggs & Stratton. I take that back. Tecumseh carburetors are junk right out of the factory, and they've never, ever, in decades, made any changes to their carburetors to improve them. But you see where I'm going with this. Briggs carbs suck. More specifically, the FlowJet carbs, the updraft carbs, FlowJet carbs. They suck, blah, 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 blah. No, they don't suck. You just have to know how to rebuild them correctly so they won't leak. That's their biggest problem, is leaking out the bottom of the fuel bowl. Well, they're not actually leaking out of the bottom of the fuel bowl. They're leaking from the main emulsion tube, the main jet tube. That's where the gas is getting by the seat between the main jet and the pot metal carb body. It's not the float. I take that back. The majority of the time it is not the float. Even when you get new carburetors, I find I have to go in, back off the main jet emulsion tube, tighten it back down, and back it out, put it in, back it out, put it in a few times to mate the two surfaces together. Never ever ever use Loctite. Never ever ever use Teflon tape. Never ever ever use anything to seal the emulsion tube to the carb body. It's brass on pot metal. You run that main jet screw in 3 or 4 times and seat it well with a properly made screwdriver so that you don't damage the threads or the slot in the jet. And you're going to have an amazing carburetor that will give you decades of tireless, awesome performance. But Briggs carbs do not suck. Briggs carbs, Macouni's, Walbros, Kohlers, they all have their little idiosyncrasies, their little problems that cause malfunctions or erratic running conditions, and all are correctable. It's just knowing what steps you have to go through to get them corrected. And yes, I'm down here talking with my hand, but you guys can't see it. So those are my 2 gripes for today, is the what's it worth and the carbs suck. And I know these are a little bit long, a little bit winded, but you guys know that I'm a little bit long and a little bit winded. Long in the tooth, too. But what else have we got? We've got a couple more things, so hang in there. Like I say, this is Monday, July 27th, and we'll look at getting some more of these gripes up. Now, if you've got a gripe of your own, I believe I said this in the first gripe video, if you've got some gripes of your own, message me or find me on Facebook. You type in Zippo Varga in Facebook, I will come up. And let me know what your gripe is. You send me a message. I only have friends enabled on my page, so you'll be limited. I will get your message. It'll go into my other box. I'll get it and I'll reply to it. But tell me what your gripes are. Tell me things that you've experienced that I've not mentioned in this little gripe series that I'm doing. And let me know if there's something you guys want brought to light. I know there's a lot of things out there, and some of the things I probably will not use, and I'll let you know that I won't. Just inappropriate things, stuff like that nature. I try to run as close to a freaking G-rated channel as I can. But anyway, yep. And I hope I've explained my gripes to the point where they're understood and that they're not misrepresented as being me just being an ass. That's not my intent at all. My intent with these series is simply to open the eyes to the reality of ran when parked, or rare only made 1 year, or put an automotive coil on it, or bypass the governor to go faster, or what's it worth, or Briggs carbs suck. That's what's been up so far. If I've not explained any of those to your satisfaction and you have something you want to add to it, or that you would like for me to add to one of my videos, let me know. I'll be happy to shoot another video and get it posted. Or you can post one of your own and link your video to my video, and it'll show up in the comments. And I encourage anybody who wants to do that to do that. Negative comments, I have a long-standing relationship with YouTube and with my subscribers, and those who troll, they just simply get blocked. So yeah, you can put hate messages on there if you want, as long as they're respectful hate messages with your opinions, genuine opinion, not "God, you sound like the teacher on Bueller." Well, sometimes I do. Ask me if I care. I don't. I'll leave those comments. Those are okay. I just mean browbeating and stuff like that. Unnecessary things. Things that you wouldn't say to my face unless you were expecting some bad repercussions. But anyway, that's it. Let's see what we wind up with on Tuesday. A Zippo. You know the rest.